Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Purple Sales Podcast. Today we're going to kick off a mini series on how AI can help you in sales. Now, contrary to popular belief, AI is not going to come and take all our sales jobs. What it is going to do, it's going to empower the salespeople that can use these tools to be better at their jobs. And this could be better at selling, it could be better at preparing, recording information. There is a ton of different use cases where AI can help us as salespeople to do our job more efficiently. As is everything in sales, time is money. We're here to make money, not waste money. And there's tons of AI tools that can help us. So let's get into it today with ChatGPT. Short car out, we're talking about ChatGPT. Has come on a long way since its inception a couple of years ago, but really at a very, very basic level, this is a very, very basic use case, okay? So you're a salesperson, you've just kind of come on board with a new company, or maybe you've developed a product yourself, you're gonna sell, whatever it is. What are you gonna do now? The leads aren't coming in, you need to make the effort to go out there and sell to someone else. So how are you gonna find them? Who's the best person to talk to? All those things that we need to do. This is the preparation phase of sales. And ChatGPT is amazing for this, to really get you a head start on where you need to be. This is not going to be 100% perfect, but it might bring you 80% of the way very, very quickly. So in this use case, we are going to sell a new budgeting and forecasting tool. Our target buyer is the finance director, and we are aligned to the pharmaceutical industry. That's our patch. Now, as you can see very quickly, you can go as granular as you want. I could reference specific pharmaceutical companies, or we could go much broader and just target everybody in a region, a state, a country, a geography, whatever it is. We could also ask the tool what lines of business need a new budgeting and forecasting tool. So you can kind of see very quickly, you will need to decide for yourself how you want to play this. And again, just keep asking ChatGPT questions and it'll keep spitting out with the answers. So in our use case here today, we are looking to target finance directors in the pharmaceutical industry. We're looking to sell them a new budgeting and forecasting tool. So what we want to do is have ChatGPT essentially be our target buyer and give us their opinion. So essentially, as you can see here, I'm telling ChatGPT, you are an experienced finance director in the pharmaceutical industry. And like everything in sales, we don't want to dive into the main point straight away. So let's gather a bit of background. And again, you can spend as much time as you want on this, but for the purposes of this quick video, I just want to understand, what are your top 5 priorities for 2024? Just as a finance director, got nothing to do with the tool just yet. And then moving on from that, focusing in on this budgeting and forecasting tool that we presume they're looking for. What are the top 5 needs for this tool? How do they do budgeting and forecasting now? What pain points do they have, and how can they be improved? Again, you can put as much information that you can keep asking ChatGPT, and what about this, and what about that? So, and you can see, this is what ChatGPT comes back with. As a finance director, here are my top 5 priorities. And if you often talk to this kind of avatar, this kind of buyer, then there's nothing here that probably strikes as being any way out of the ordinary. But what we can see there, point 4, financial planning and analysis. So we already know that our tool is going to be a priority of a finance director in the pharmaceutical industry this year. So we know we're onto something. So typically now, when we know in the back of our heads, with a bit of a confidence now, when we start reaching out to these people, there's going to be some interest there, or there should be, right? And then digging into these additional questions, when it comes to looking for a new budgeting and forecasting tool, these are the 5 things that typically a finance director is going to look for. These are the kind of things that they're going to need to see. So let's just make sure that the tool we're selling has most of these, hopefully all of these, right? So that's great as well. How do they do things now? I mean, with my experience of selling into various industries, I don't think any of these pain points are particularly specific to the pharmaceutical industry. So we could always dig a bit deeper here if we wanted to, ask some more questions. But siloed data, everything takes time and nothing's flexible. Yeah, I think most kind of legacy tools are a bit like that nowadays. And look, here's where we can make improvements, just to give us some ideas. And let's obviously align our product with these and combating that. And then I suppose, just an example of keeping that conversation going, what kind of budget would you have, right? And how soon do you need it? So again, you need to almost like start playing out that initial conversation, that qualifying conversation with your avatar in ChatGPT before you ever talk to a real person. Get those reps in, get that information. We all know in sales, you might jump on a call with your first finance director in the pharmaceutical industry, and it might be a completely different conversation. But look, maybe there are some points here that are going to align quite nicely, and so you will be prepared. And again, we've not been specific at the start as to what size of a company we're targeting. Again, the more specific you are at the start with ChatGPT, the better quality answer you're going to get in the end. So these are quite general, but look, it's given us some ideas of budgets that different size companies, might make, timelines for procurement, and typically this is how a finance director will go to market to look for a tool. So again, we've an idea of kind of like their process, their buying process before we go in and introduce our buying process. So again, that's just, and you can see that's taken me about 10 seconds to do. So anyone listen to this, take this format, get onto ChatGPT, use the free version if you have to. We're on ChatGPT 4 now, which is the paid version, but the ChatGPT 3.5 is still going to give you some pretty good answers. So jump in for free, start asking the tool some questions. Once you have informed ChatGPT essentially of its role, so we're telling ChatGPT, I want you to play this role now. This is who you are, and I'm going to ask you these questions, and these are the answers that I want, and be as specific as you possibly can. I hope that's helped. That's 5 or 6 minutes video. If you're still listening, definitely give this a go and give me your feedback. Maybe you've used ChatGPT or one of the other AI tools like this already. Let me know what you think. Have you had any success, or has it been a huge car crash? I'd love to hear everyone's experiences, everyone's feedback. My name's Luke. This has been the Purple Guy Podcast. Talk to you soon.